All right, this is Mr. Conrad coming to you from the band room at Baker. This lesson, topic 4, is on the grand staff and ledger lines. I notice my videos are getting a little long, so I'm going to try and go a little bit quicker. So let's get started with the grand staff.
When the bass and treble staffs are connected by a brace and a line, they combine to form the grand staff.
And if you're a piano player, this would look very familiar to you. Also, an accordion would read music that looks like this. Okay, it wants me to construct my grand staff.
Construct a grand staff by dragging the grand staff puzzle pieces from below and dropping them into their correct positions on the staff.
Moving on.
Ledger lines are short lines which are added to extend the range of the staff when the notes are too low or too high to be written on the staff.
Now, most of us have to read ledger lines at some point in our playing. For some of you, you're going to have to read ledger lines right from the start. For example, the tuba. Tuba reads ledger lines right away. For others, it'll be a little bit before we have to read ledger lines, but eventually all of us need to know what a ledger line is and how it works.
The notes in the middle range of the grand staff are B, C, and D.
Okay, so essentially they've made the grand staff with a big space in the middle, so it's a little bit easier for us to read. But there are only 3 notes in between the grand staff. They are B, C, and D. They can be attached to the bass clef like these 3 are, or they can be attached to the treble clef like those 3 are. Notice B, B, C, C, D, D. While they look a little bit different, those are actually the same notes.
They can be written on ledger lines in both the bass and treble staffs. These notes are written differently but sound the same.
Alright, let's practice. So hanging off the treble clef, I know my first line is an E, so I'm just going to go backwards in the alphabet, down 2 spots. So first line would be E, backwards in the alphabet 1 for this space would be a D, backwards again for this ledger line would be a C. Still in the treble clef, I've got an E on the first line, backwards is D, backwards is C, backwards again gives me a B. E, D, C. My first line, every good boy deserves fudge. So my first line is an E, I just got to count backwards 1 spot. That's a D. This is backwards 2 spots from E. So that's a C. Backwards 3 spots, E, D, C, B. There we go. That's naming the treble clef ledger lines. Now let's try some bass clef ledger lines. This time I get to count forward in the alphabet. I know from my saying, good boys deserve fudge always, that the top line of my bass clef staff is an A. So I count forward from A through the alphabet. A, B, C, D. Top line is A, 1 spot up is B. Top line is A again. I'm going to go up to B, C, D. You notice I've only got 3 options here, B, C, or D, at this point in time. That is a C, up 2 spots. That is up 3 spots from the A on the top line of my bass clef staff. So A, 1 spot to B, 2 spots to C, 3 spots to D. And one more, A, B, C. Okay, that is the grand staff and ledger lines. I will see you again.